I've got a problem, and that's time. Not in the same case as before where I didn't have enough time to do creative stuff, because now I'm on the flip side. I have too much time. This is my first proper week being a full-time creator, and honestly, I actually have no idea what to do. My friend Ferris Bueller once said, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and take a look around once in a while, you could miss it. So I'm gonna take that as a sign to take it easy this week and use it to figure out how I want to structure my time now. Like when I want to work, write, when I want to shoot, or maybe when I just want to chill. But since it's my first week, I guess for now, life is gonna be pretty unstructured. Anyway, let's sit back, figure out the process, and welcome to my first week in the life as a full-time creator. Okay, so I was initially going to do a first week in the life video, but I guess life works in mysterious ways and I've literally been traveling from the get-go. And that brings us to the first thing I did as a full-time creator, and that was travel. I went to Cannes for the Cannes Lions Festival, and then I found myself in the French countryside inside a castle with other creators for Creator Camp, and then I went to Philippines for around a month to go visit family and friends. While traveling, I was always thinking about finally being home and looking forward to finally starting my life as a full-time content creator. And then I realized this is all a part of it. I'm gonna be traveling often because it's kinda like my job now, you know, to make stories and films wherever I go. Plus, I ain't getting any younger, so I'm gonna try to travel as often as I can, especially now that I don't have to worry about work and paid time off. Speaking of, it just feels so good finally coming home and not worrying about waking up to a 9 AM job. I'm glad traveling was the first thing I did after being full-time because it's always been a wish of mine, and here I am actually doing it. Although I may have traveled and filmed a little bit too hard because by the end of the Philippines trip, I kinda got sick and fell ill. Which kinda brings us to the next thing that I did and prioritized after becoming full-time, and that's rest. And that's a lot of it. I have so much more time to rest now, so now I can afford to kind of fall asleep a little bit later and even wake up a little later. And I could also now take naps both in the afternoon and in the evening. Prior to this newfound time, I would do my 9 to 5, and when I finish, I'd go straight into making and creating videos until like 3 AM, where after I would then doom scroll on social media in bed till like 5 AM, because I felt like I didn't want to waste any hours. That of course led to a regular cycle of burnout because I got zero rest, which is why I try to prioritize rest and sleep these days, because now I know my physical and mental limits. And also because I kind of need to get rid of these eye bags. Recently I've been getting 8, sometimes 10 hours sleep, so I have so much time to just do nothing and rest. Although I can't rest too much because living life is kind of my job now. So I'm actually technically working 24/7, which brings us to the next thing I did as a full-time creator, and that is work. Now, work is pretty unconventional these days. I pretty much just shoot and film wherever I go because I kind of need that in order to build these stories for these films. Having this time where I don't have to sit at a desk for 10 hours means I'm able to go out and shoot more interesting scenes and activities. I now also get to go to these creative events and brand activations during the day, which before I used to sneak out on lunch or just have to miss out on. Yeah, it was really cool that I get to go to like these events now, because it was like at 11 AM, which normally I'd be working, but now that I'm a full-time creator, I get to kind of just pop out whenever I want. So yeah, today's actually really busy. Right after that, I had to head over to King's Cross because I am going to this place, which is gonna be really cool, and it's the first time going here, which is really fitting that I finally like kind of commit to like the whole long form. But check this out. So behind me, don't know if you can see, there's the Google office. So basically, Shift is hosting a YouTube workshop at the YouTube place in the Google offices. So get to do that at 1. Right now, 20 minutes to go. So kind of just got myself some coffee. Now with all that footage though means a lot of sifting through videos and editing, which means I still actually spend a lot of time at my desk working. Although because it's pretty fun and I love what I'm doing, it doesn't really feel like work. And now since my passions are now my job, I kind of want to get a promotion, if that makes any sense. Now normally to get a promotion you need to be really good at what you do, so that's been my goal this summer, to basically improve what I'm doing. Which leads us to the next thing I've been doing this summer, and that's learning. Now that I've got so much more spare time this summer, I want to use that time wisely by doing activities that I couldn't really do before, like learning new skills or improving on old ones, and doing them via lessons and tutorials which I couldn't really do before while working a 9 to 5. The main thing I wanted to improve on was sound design, as I feel like that's the weakest thing in my skill set, as well as learning more advanced color grading. The newest skill I want to learn though is 3D modeling and somehow incorporate those into my videos, as I feel like these are things that will take my videos and these films to a higher level. In the past, I would normally just try to trial and error these things and try to figure out myself. So it's a lot of unstructured learning, which means I would always end up giving up because it got a little bit too much. Although this time around, now that I have all the time to, I want a more organized approach, and the way that I'm achieving that is via Skillshare, who I've partnered with for this video in order to make learning these skills possible. Skillshare has a wide array of classes in various topics, so it has everything I need for my filmmaking toolkit. You can learn things about composition, storytelling, sound and graphic design, to color grading and learning about software tutorials, literally the whole lot. The first lesson I took was in sound design, and because they added this new feature where you can filter down into what software you use, I chose a class that uses Fairlight for DaVinci Resolve, and I managed to finish this class in one sitting. But since everything is on demand, you can take multiple classes at once. Like if I wanted to, I could break down a class into 30-minute sections and start a different class. This is really handy for the longer set of lessons. The one thing I was really excited to learn about though is 3D modeling with Blender. The best thing about Skillshare is that it's truly for creatives. It's designed for and led by creatives and industry experts in the field, so I can truly trust and dive into these lessons. They even have this thing called learning paths, which is a curated list of classes which I can take in an order that helps me master the thing that I want to learn. I saw this learning path for 3D modeling specifically for filmmakers and how to use 3D modeling as a form of storytelling and integrating it into your films, which is the type of thing that I wanted to learn, though I saved that for a little bit later because I wanted to learn the basics of Blender first, so I started this beginner class first. I found it really helpful, and unlike school, I was able to take these mini breaks in between and kind of learn and review things at my own pace. And using the things that I learned in class, here's the 3D model that I made, which is crazy because I never thought I'd be able to do this in a space of an hour. The classes were really helpful and there's just an abundance of things that I want to learn, so I was kind of tempted to kind of just binge them all day, but I kind of need to work on my time management. Plus, the classes on Skillshare would always be there, so I guess I'll just save it for another time. Anyway, I highly recommend using Skillshare to learn new things, as it's honestly the best and most in-depth lessons that I've taken. And since I've partnered with Skillshare, the first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So, get started today. I know quite a few friends that use Skillshare to learn new things, and it's kind of fun exchanging what we've learned and found. Which, speaking of friends, the next thing that I've been doing is reconnecting. Reconnecting with friends, that is. I feel like with my packed schedule in the past, it was a constant grind set for me. When I'm done with a 9 to 5, it was the 5 to 9, and after that, I have minimal energy for people outside of my girlfriend and my family. Like, I tried, but it was hard. So now I have more time and space between rest and work, I get to hang out with friends, old and new, and reconnecting with everyone. Especially friends that are also full-time creators, we get to be those unemployed friends on a Tuesday afternoon getting coffee or going on a road trip. With having more time with people though, one thing I learned is how to set my boundaries with people when it comes to time and energy. Even though it now feels like I have all the time in the world, I'm still pretty limited. So it's always important to have time for myself. And that brings us to the final thing that I've been doing this summer, and it's finding myself. And I've been doing a lot of it recently. Since my time and my life is in my hands now, I get to control who and what I want to be. It's a hard and long process, sure, but it's something I've kind of enjoyed doing. I've been rediscovering things that I used to like, and now I've also been able to look forward to new things that I want to do, because now I know I have the time and resources to do so, because before I would just be overwhelmed and try to figure out how to fit it in. And one of the biggest tools that's helped me with that is journaling and reading every morning. I journal daily in the morning just so my head is clear to start the day and my brain is ready and my ideas are on the paper and ready to be refined. I write about how I feel and what my struggles are and what my wins are. And my emotions now feel more real to me because I feel like I'm more connected with myself, as I'm literally speaking to myself through the pages. I finally trust myself to know where to put my energy to. I know what to do, what dreams I want to chase, and when to stop. It honestly feels like a new life, one that I didn't think I'd be in a year ago. And it even feels like a new me. It's crazy how it's only been 3 months since I quit work, and in that short amount of time, by doing the things that I've listed, it's already changed so much things in my life. I feel like I've got so many more things to try, and I'm really excited where the next 3 months or even year would take me. And I guess that excitement is one of the perks of finally living out your dreams.